The Song of Psalms. And that's so well understood. This the 8 chapters of love. There's an introduction and a conclusion. The book doesn't have a rigid book of literature. It's a collection of poems. By dissective, take it apart, it's a filling whole and joy. The first line of the book, the Song of Psalms, is a Hebrew idiom of holies and the kings of kings, and the Hebrew way of saying the greatest song of songs. Then we're told the line is a song which is Solomon, is the author. Maybe begins the book art of it all. But you read the book and discover maybe it's a book of a woman. There's a male voice that isn't Solomon. Solomon is mentioned kind of times in the poem, but never the speaker. But Solomon is a very odd catamount of the book, since he had 700 wives. The lover, the songs of songs, and all these songs for each other, of Solomon, and the wisdom tradition of Solomon. Solomon was known for his wisdom, poetry, and love of learning. And Solomon became the father of wisdom and literature. And so his legacy is carried on as a collecting of love poems, explore the love and sexual desire. The book, basic themes in the book, the books of a live woman with a very shepherd boy, but they're engaged, but they can't wait to be together. Induction, the poem, back and forth, the woman's voice, the man's voice, to scene with a clear linear storyline. The poem moves the semantic cycles and key images, ideals, repeated, envelop. One of the basic themes of the poems, the tense and desire, the very couple that has each other, describes as seeking and finding. Opening poem, separating and seeking. The woman calls out. She'll wake up from a dream, go looking for her lover, and they'll find each other, and they'll brace. Right when everything gets racy, the same lonely end. They'll start, they're separated, and on it goes. Another repeated theme to enjoy physical attraction of one another, multiple times. They all describe each other, metaphor. It's images, metaphors, a poetry, not a primary visual. Pretty picture of these people, and very, very strange. What you posts also do, reflect on the meaning, and they relate, and you look at pathetic poetry, and keep building this desire section, spiraling as a poetic section, mystery and power. It all comes together, conclusion. Summary of this poem is all about love is as strong as death, as a passion are severe, as grave as the flashes are divine as a flame. Many waters can extinguish love, rivers cannot sweep it away. If one to give all the wealth of the house of love, he would be utterly scorned. The power and intensity of love is both beautiful and life-giving and also dangerous. It's like fire. It can destroy people and it can be abused, or it can be life-giving if it's done right. An essential killing of human longing to desire. Love and desire has descending human life, mysterious, and a book of wisdom tradition, and it's a gift of God. A book of Solomon is impossible to buy love. Rejects Solomon's offer and separate one more for each other, and called to hear their voice, he begs to run away with her. And that's how the book ends. And totally open-ended. That's a lot like love, because there's always more to discover and pursue about love. True love has no end. Neither does this book. The book question is the book of songs. What's the love doing in the love of the poetry? The three main interpret through the history a Jewish tradition of allegor, a symbol of Israel symbol, and a God is a symbol of God Israel, Mount Sinai, of the giving of the Torah. This flow in the tradition of Christian traditions, and how Christ loves his people and the church, and is inspired by Paul in Ephesians 5. A Christian husband's love is like wife is like a symbol of Christ for the church. In the last 100 years, archaeological discoveries of ancient Egypt and Babylon, and love and poetry, of ancient love and poetry, is so similar in language. The songs and love poetry is like a meaningful part of Israel culture, and it's called Cyrus today. How presented itself in arrangement of ancient poetry, reflected of divine gift of love. It's not only ancient love poetry. It's a key feature when it sticks out in Old Testament. As the Old Testament used a garden of imagery as a part of echoes in the Garden of Eden, and the scene of married couple in the earlier chapter of Genesis. The image of the man, the woman, naked and vulnerable, but completely unified and safe with one another. This resonates as background to the book of Songs. It's like these poems, the love of a couple, its relationship, it's by selfishness, by sin. Ultimately, the songs of holds on their own relationship are restored by selfishness. Love that transcends is meant to point something greater, of gift of God's love, with one that he permeate and transform his beautiful world. And that's what the book of Songs is all about.